Maths. Hey you guys, it's Mrs. Hashams again. Today we're looking at multiplying fractions. You guys looked at adding and subtracting them. Oh, my fingers there, sorry, last week. And hopefully that was nice and easy for you. We had a look last lesson at skip counting and how that correlates here. And so because that was the last thing we looked at, we're going to start with that again. So if I'm looking at 1/3 times 12, okay, I've got 12 lots of 1/3 here that I'm adding together. Apart from this one where I was rushing right at the end and I've made 11 of 3. What a potato. Anyway, so once you count all of those up, I'm sure all of you can understand that what we end up with is 12 lots of this third, okay? And 12 lots of thirds is going to give you 4 wholes, okay? So if I drew 12 thirds, I'd end up with 4 whole whatevers they are. We're going to talk about pizzas. Everyone likes pizza. I don't want to hear if you don't like pizza. There's something wrong with you. Now, another way of writing this is, like I showed you before, is to put the 12 over 1. Because where you've got 12 whole, that's the same as having 12 over 1. And multiplication is much easier than addition and subtraction of fractions because you can do that simple multiplying across. 1 times 12 is 12, and 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so much simpler. Don't forget, whenever you're working with fractions, the question will ask you if it wants you to put it in different forms, but make sure that you're cancelling down is what I'm trying to get to, but I haven't got words for it. So having a look at this second question, okay, we've got 1/5 times 3/4, okay, and we're just simply timesing across. That's how easy it is to multiply fractions. So 1 times 3 gives me 3, and 5 times 4 gives me 20. The only thing you need to look at is, can I cancel it down? Can I cancel down 3 over 20? No, I can't. Okay, that's as small as that fraction can get. Let's have a look at this next question. So I've got 2/3 times 9/10, and I'm doing that same thing. I'm timesing across. 2 times 9 gives me 18, and 3 times 10 gives me 30. Now, the difference between this question and the last one is I can cancel it down, okay? Both of these numbers can be divided by 3, but also by 6. Okay, and 6 is the largest number that they both have in common that they can be divided by. So if you did divide by 3, you'd end up with 6 over 10, all right? But dividing by 6, we end up with 3 over 5. And that is as cancelled down as that fraction can be. I can't make it any smaller. If I cut out a pizza into 30 equal sized pieces, they're going to be super skinny, but 18 of them is going to take up exactly the same size as 3 pieces if I'd only cut into 5 equal pieces. And that's what we needed you to understand with your fraction walls that we looked at last lesson. These two fractions look different, but they are exactly the same thing. Okay, and feel free to get something and divide it up into 30 equal pieces and something the exact same size and cut it up into 5 exact pieces, and you will see that these two fractions take up the exact same amount of space. Now, the trick that I want to show you here is I've got exactly the same question again, but I'm going to do it a different way. Instead of cancelling down here at the end, I'm going to cancel down here at the start. And the deal with these fractions is that whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So what I did here was there's a 2 at the top and a 10 at the bottom. 2 goes into itself 1 time, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. And a 3 and a 9. 3 goes into itself 1 time, and it goes into 9 3 times. So I've just cancelled the down. I can't cancel down these two numbers together. It has to be one from the bottom and one from the top. So now I can say, instead of 2 times 9, I can say 1 times 3 gives me 3, and 1 times 5 gives me 5. Now you can see I've got the exact same answer, but here I've done my cancelling down at the end, here I've done my cancelling down at the start. Some people really panic when they see this and they don't like it. Some people are very familiar with it. Okay, some people like to do their cancelling down nice and slowly. Let's find half of the top number and half of the bottom number and then see if we can half it again. All of those strategies are totally fine. They will get you exactly the same answer in the end. And if you want to have another go and pause the video and go back and have a look at that again, that's totally fine to do that. All right. There's another word that we use in our literacy part of maths, and that's the word of. Sometimes the word of means multiply, and some of you I know are thinking she's off her head. That is not true. But think about this piece of language. 1/3 of an hour to cook a pizza. All of you would understand that the third of an hour is 1/3 of 60 minutes, which is 20 minutes. So 1/3 of an hour, you are doing, okay, that multiplication there. It seems like division because it's less, but you are actually multiplying. Now I've confused you. Okay, so let's have a look at this question. 2/3 of 1/4. That means exactly the same thing as 2/3 times 1/4. And we're just going to go straight across the top, nice and easy. 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 4 is 12. Now, can I cancel that down at all? Okay, I could have cancelled it down here, and I could have made that a 1. And 2 goes into itself 1 time, and it goes into 4 2 times. And I could have had 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6. But I've just cancelled down at the end. 2 over 12, I know that that's the same as 1/6. It's exactly half. So half of 2 is 1 and half of 12 is 6. All right. So sometimes there's different ways you can do things, and I don't want to confuse you too much, but I know some of you have done some of this and looked at this before in primary school, and you might already have ways of doing things, and I really want you to understand that either way is okay. So in saying that, I want you to have a go at these 4 questions here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press pause on your video, okay, and have a go at those 4 questions, and then we'll come back with the answers. So pause. All right. So let's go through the answers to these. So 1 5 is 5, 2 5 10, 4 5s are 20. And 5 times 3 is 15. All right. So looking at this, I haven't left much space there. Sorry. That's a bit better. 20 over 15. We already know that 15 over 15 is 1. Now, if I've taken 15 of those 20 away, I'm left with 5. And let's have a look there. Is there anything else we can do to that? Can we cancel it down any more? We definitely can. We can make that a 5 goes into itself once and 5 goes into 15 3 times. So that's going to be same as 1 and 1/3. Let's have a look at the next question. Some of you might like to just do this as is. Some of you might like to put in the over 1. Okay, and that's totally fine. So 5 times 4 is going to be 20. 1 times 16 is 16. Now we've got the same issue that we had here. How can we cancel this down? We know that 16 over 16 gives us 1. And how many did I have left after that? I've got 4 left after I take away 16, so 4 over 16. Can I cancel that down any further? Yes, I can, okay? So 4, how many times does 4 go into 16? 2 4s are 8, 3 4s are 12, 4 4s are 16. So that's the same as 1 and 1/4, okay? Having a look at the next one, 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 is 7, 2 7s are 14, 3 7s are 21. All right, 8 over 21. Can we cancel this down anymore? We can, okay? 4 goes into both of those. I don't know why I'm waiting for someone else to talk. So 4 goes into 8 twice. 5 4s are 21. Last question. 6 over 12 times 8 over 10. So we got 12 times 10 gives us 120. And 6 times 8, 6 6s are 36, 7 6s are 42, 8 6s are 48. All right, can we cancel this one down any further? 48 over 120. I think there's a lot of cancelling down we can do with this one. Most people, especially with the larger numbers, are just going to want to half it and half it again until they come up with something. Come up with your lowest common denominator, or the lowest number that they both go into, and see how you work. We'll just do it the easy way if you like. So half of 48 is going to give us 24. Half of 120 is 60. Okay, we can do that again until we've got 12 over 30. Can we do it again? We can, and then we'll have 6 over 15. Can we do it again? We cannot. All right, so you can literally just keep going down until you find that you can't divide those anymore, and that you've cancelled it down as far as you can. But all those strategies, any of that we used in there today is totally fine. I'll give you some more of these questions to do by yourselves. Toodaloo.